Hi, welcome to Steve's Retro Loft. Today's a special day. It's the 23rd of April and it's actually the 40th anniversary of the Sinclair Spectrum. So, just like on the 30th anniversary, I thought I'd get the Spectrum out and play some games. I did intend to live stream it, but I didn't realise how live streaming worked on YouTube, and it seemed that I had to set it up and it gave me 24 hours to start live streaming. So, yeah. I didn't do it. So let's have a quick look at some games. First off, I'm going to start looking at Starglider. So it wasn't an early game. It's one of the later releases for the Spectrum, probably around about 1986, 1987. And it was quite a technologically advanced game for its time. It's a 3D vector graphics were quite good. So it's a little bit like 3D Tank Duel, but a lot better. So let's have a quick look at the game. Right, so I made a careful note of the controls this time. It's always handy. I did sort of preload the game rather than sitting through watching it load. I did initially try it on the Spectrum Plus 2, obviously, because it had some nice if I recall, it had some nice music, but it wouldn't load, so I might need to adjust the azimuth on that. But nevertheless, we'll start the game, and the controls are fairly simple. QAOP and ZX for accelerate, decelerate, L for lasers, and space so L for missile and space for lasers. Yeah, I can't remember the game too much because I also had it on the Atari ST and on the Amiga. But yeah, I did enjoy the game, and so let's have a look, see if it brings back some memories. If I remember right, there was some sort of almost like AT-AT type vehicles in it. I think they were called Stompers, unless that's in Starglider 2. It's quite difficult to get things on target. Oh, there you go. Side. There might be a missile. Ah, there's the Stompers. Oh. There's quite a lot to do. So the actual fluid, the gameplay, the actual screen moved quite well. Yeah, for say a fairly cheap computer with a fairly limited processing power. Yeah, there was quite a lot with the screen, which is quite impressive. So around about the same time as this sort of came out, or a few years later, we had games like Star Fox or Star Wing on the Nintendo, and so again, 3D vector graphics did seem to be quite popular in the sort of late 80s and early 90s. Probably a bit of a forerunner to a lot of the sort of polygon-based games that sort of came out, with things like the PlayStation and PlayStation 2. As per usual, I've not read the manual, which I know upsets some people. But yeah, I was just having a quick look at the game. So that's a lot of this channel is about. It's not full game reviews. It's just reliving some of the games from my past. And it's nice to have a bit of a sort of aide-memoire on games as I'm getting older. Nice to see these things. Obviously, we take everything for granted with a lot of games nowadays, the sort of power they have and the consoles. Yeah. Yep. Seems I managed to survive quite a while without dying, which is quite an achievement. There you go. That's a quick look at Starglider, and whilst I've got Starglider's attention, what I was planning to also have a look at was Starglider 2. I can't remember this too much. I think obviously the Atari ST version looks like it's got sort of quite filled in vector graphics. Whether it was the same on the Spectrum version, I don't know. I'll just check to see if it is. Yeah, it is for 48K as well. It wasn't just 128. So I see Starglider 2 has managed to load up okay, which is good. The new cassette recorder seems to be doing well. And so these are the keys for the old version of Starglider 1, and very similar to controls up, down, left, right. However, these are the keys for Starglider 2, a lot more. So yeah, this might be a bit of a tricky one to play because, as I say, it's not done too much. So there's a special mode on the 128 called Painting with Rolf. That may have sort of got lost in time a little bit. Yeah, it might be a bit dated. Yeah, let's move on from that. Space to begin. I'll probably keep referring to the instructions, because there's quite a lot to it. Oh, you get straight into it. As you see on the back of the box for the game, it shows the Atari ST version, which is sort of more like solid graphics. Still vector type, but still solid graphics. Control, yeah, very similar. So gameplay seems a little bit more smoother, to be perfectly honest with you. So yeah, there's a lot more you can do on it by the looks of it. It's a lot bigger game. Okay, yeah, it's one that you probably need to spend a lot more time with playing. It seems to be a bit tricky. I say the controls do seem to be a little bit all over the place. Let's look, what sort of weapon I've got? No neutron bomb, that's unfortunate. No cube launcher, just a laser of some sort. Yeah, the map doesn't seem to be very well represented. It's hard to tell what they are. It just seems to be small clusters of things close by. Are those planets close? Are they? Yeah, are they something else? So. Yeah, so quite a lot of the options and quite a lot of the keys don't seem to work unless, I guess, you're in certain modes if you're on a planet, if you're in a tractor beam or whatever. Yes, that's a Starglider 2. Yeah, a little bit, a bit disappointing. It's one of those games. Although I do have a copy of it, I don't remember owning it on the Spectrum. I've got a feeling it's probably a game I bought for the S2 or the Amiga, and probably got into it a little bit more. It's one of those games that more than likely benefited from sort of cursors, or mouse control or joystick control. Probably better on a mouse. I find most flight simulator or simulator type games better on a mouse control. Yeah, but there you go. That's a couple of Stargliders looked at. With the seamless edit, I'll switch from the 48K version to the 128K. Not the best soundtrack I've heard, but let's have a look. The game is going to be identical. It's just the painting with Rolf I wanted to look at. So I think you can manipulate this. You can rotate things in left and right. So you can cycle through different different shapes, sizes. It shows you what they are. It's quite handy actually, because as I say, sometimes you don't know what some of these things are. Some of the graphics are. Yeah, I mean the painting bit sort of is a little bit misleading, because as I say, there's no actual painting. It's just a case of zooming in and taking a look at the item itself. But there you go. That's painting with Rolf, and fortunately, yeah, it's not as bad as it could have been. But there you go. So yeah, that's a quick look at Starglider. Whilst I've actually got this out, I will attempt Starglider, the normal Starglider, and see what it does. Because last time I tried it, it didn't work. But now I've moved the tape and used the tape and loaded it, it might have actually released some of the tension in it. So I'll give Starglider a try, and if there's anything exciting, I'll show you. As you see, Starglider's loaded. It's something I tried a few weeks ago. It didn't actually load, and for some reason it has. I think just using the tape a little bit has probably released any stickiness it had. The game is pretty much identical, but it just has a soundtrack, which I'll let you have a brief listen to. Has vibes of Jean-Michel Jarre, don't you think? It might be, actually. I don't know, I don't think it is. I think I would have remembered if it was. A quick look at the manual, see if it mentions anything. No, can't see anything. Again, I'll just quickly go into the game. Oops. And to start the game. Obviously, sound effects are probably slightly better as well. Other than that, it's pretty much the same game. Obviously, the 1 to 8 only offered obviously more memory and better sound. You still had all the same issues you had with the Spectrum. You still had the tribute clash, and you still had a lack of sort of hardware sprites or anything like that. So everything was still done by the same 3.5 megahertz processor. I seem to be doing slightly better on this version than I did on the actual 48K version, but essentially it is the same game. But not too sure if there's some very slight graphical differences because they could load a little bit more into memory. Obviously, with the 48K version, you are very limited to what you can do. Obviously, with the extra bit of memory the 1 to 8 has, you can load additional things in. So yeah. Well, there you go. That's the two different versions of Starglider. What I wouldn't mind doing is I wouldn't mind actually comparing it to the Atari ST or the Amiga version. However, I don't own either of those two currently, and maybe that's something that I might have to do in a future video. But I think the back of the game, it's screenshots from the Atari ST version, so if you do have the box game, you can see what the ST version looks like. The actual field of play looks roughly the same. Obviously, the graphics are a lot more cleaner on the Atari ST version, and the Amiga was very, very similar as well. But that's it. That's it for the games, and yeah. Thank you for this quick look at a couple of my games, a couple of versions of Starglider. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I was going to say that as I've gone through boxes of games, I don't really need to do any more of those, and I'll probably just pick a few games that I like and do a few sort of bit more detailed looks like I have today. Until the next video, see you again. Bye bye.